Oh yeah? What about healthcare? People ask me this question all the time. And to be fair, oh, yeah, it's a perfectly fair question to ask. Oh, the little kitty tried to go in the house. I've broken bones. I've been to the dentist. I've been to the emergency room. Paid cash for blood work. And no, living off grid doesn't just suddenly magically solve healthcare. But after 6 years off grid, I have learned a few things that surprised me. This is YouTube, and so people do throw healthcare at me often, as in I gotcha. You know, you're too far from the hospital. You know, what about healthcare? Without insurance, you're doomed. And I mean, ultimately, it's a fair question to ask. I've had my own thoughts about it, obviously. You know, I tried to be prepared coming out here, but I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have health care. You know, I broke bones and I started to realize, well, I better slow down and try not to do that. So, to start with, I couldn't afford health care. And much of my life, to be honest, I couldn't afford health care anyway, even when I lived in the city. So it just hasn't been something that I've had, but there are ways to take care of it, and of course these are things that I thought about. So the reality of it is that I didn't have money. I didn't have insurance. I did break bones. I didn't go to the hospital for them. I waited longer for health care for some situations than I should have, and it actually led to some pretty problematic situations. You know, when I was building the cabin, I had a tooth bothering me, and I thought, just a little while longer. I'm just going to finish this. I can do this. It hurts, but I can do this. And I didn't realize it would get real infected or something. And I also didn't realize it could nearly kill you. And to be honest, I don't want to be dramatic, but it was bad. And I did finally go in and have it pulled. And if I had gone in sooner, I could have saved it. So in reality, what did I do? Not too long ago, I went to the emergency room. That wasn't cheap. They did have a financial assistance program, and I didn't have insurance, so I did apply, and it did help. You know, I spend less than I make. I save money to help with these situations. Of course, that's not going to solve every single situation, but nothing I do will. There could be a catastrophe. I could have a heart attack, and how would I afford to pay for that? And who knows, you know what I mean? But in reality, I've gone to the dentist. I've paid cash. I needed some blood work. I went and I paid cash. I went to the emergency room. They had an assistance program. It helped. I tried to apply finally for insurance, but I didn't meet the deadline. And so maybe next time I'll have it. Of course, you want to have some kind of a community, people you can rely on. You want to have a plan, a reliable vehicle. A lot of remote areas you can actually pay for a helicopter ride in advance. And then if there's an emergency that would require that, you could have them come pick you up and take you straight to the hospital. Off-grid living didn't remove my options, it just made me think ahead. And I guess a lot of people assume that everyone in the city has perfect insurance. But millions of Americans don't have insurance, and I was one of them. So even when I was in the city, I usually didn't have any insurance then either. So I think no matter where you live, there's a lot of people who don't go to the doctor because they can't afford it. They don't go to the doctor even if they have insurance because their deductible is outrageous. You know, having a distance between you and the hospital is not the only thing to consider. money, margin. Do you have savings? All those things matter too. I think in some ways, ultimately, you kind of decide that, you could die in the city, have a heart attack, or get in a car accident, and you just kind of accept the things that could happen to you off-grid. It's a trade-off. So, over the years, I've gotten ahead. I spend less than I make. I save what I can. I set money aside for emergencies. I'm actually just now starting to invest in myself more. I recently had a realization that I was willing to spend money on certain things, and then I thought, well, why don't I just go get my teeth fixed? Because I can now. I think I got stuck in this. I was so used to being poor my whole life, and then not spending money allowed me to get a little buffer and start to get ahead. And so I was stuck in don't spend a penny, because you can't. And then I just finally realized, oh, I guess I can go get my teeth fixed. And so there's that. I probably will get health insurance the next time around. Like I said, you want to have community. There are memberships and passes for the helicopter flight if you need to in an emergency. You can set money aside and plan ahead. You've got these costs everywhere. If you like this video and you want more ideas on how I think about off-grid living, you can check out my website, frugaloffgrid.com. Off-grid living didn't make healthcare impossible for me. It did, however, make me realize that it's basically one of the systems. I talk about shelter, water, food, power, income, and healthcare would probably fall under the shelter pillar. Or, of course, you could make an endless amount of pillars to add to a system, but having 5 makes it simple. Living a frugal lifestyle has been a slow, steady progress, and it compounds slowly, and so it takes a lot of initial input, and it might seem like nothing's happening at first, kind of like throwing down manure in the pasture, but this ground will become more nutrient dense, it'll grow more, it'll be more valuable over time, just like the homestead. And systems like shelter, water, food, power, income, healthcare, they don't need to be feared, they should simply be planned for. The truth is, I don't have everything figured out. I'm still learning along the way, but I'm in a better place now, financially, and stable, more stable than I've ever been. A lot of off-grid channels are about the fantasy of the whole thing, and I'm just talking about reality. I didn't move off-grid to escape life. I'm just trying to build one, and the goal was never perfection. It was to move forward with confidence.